So, the other day, me, Best Gamer Ali, Spider Games, and Jonah Scott, the voice actor for Aiden Caldwell, did a breakdown of the recent Dying Light 2 gameplay, showcasing the A Place to Call Home quest. Jonah Scott got to play the game early and this mission as well, so he's able to give us some insight into his experience at the event. We talk about a lot of mechanics in the game, the overall structure of the characters, the voice acting, a lot in this one, so I hope you guys enjoy. Anyways, thanks.
Okay, so Jonah, one question. Have you played this on PC?
Yes.
And PlayStation 4?
Yes, I've played it on PC and PlayStation 4.
Like 4 or Pro?
I was unsure. I think it was a Pro.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Pro. Yeah, a lot of people said Pro.
Damn it. I was wrong. Can't see shit.
The people said the night is way more brighter, and she says she can't see shit.
I really thought it'd work.
Well, that's because if the night outside is probably brighter, but they really want the darkness inside to feel very dark. So there needs to be some contrast.
That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I get that.
Yeah. Oh, this is the best moment.
That's why I come here when I'm pissed off. So a lot, believe me. Look, Aiden. They're
Here we go.
They're fucking coming.
This actually gave me goosebumps, you know?
She's so cute.
Yeah, with the music
I
in the
love Lawan.
background.
She's
it's a
adorable.
good moment.
Beautiful. Oh, I
Chicken
can't
pie.
believe it. No, I just can't believe it.
Better be able to fight a chicken pie mascot.
I'm so
Oh,
happy
hell yeah.
Spider is silent at the moment.
He's
What?
just observing.
Not.
I'm always quiet.
Yep.
How this happen? Dark as hell for 15 years and suddenly this?
I don't know. But we need to find out.
Then drop by the canteen and let's talk. Been missing you like last year's snow local.
When it says canteen, he means the fisheye.
Yeah.
Screwing bartenders.
You know me. It's a gift.
Uh-oh.
And
Ew.
it didn't
Down it
say.
goes.
God, I want to know if you can get on top of those things.
No.
Look at the size of those buildings.
I think
Looks
you
like
can,
it.
I think.
I
Yeah.
thought we saw gameplay on top of one. Could be wrong though.
You did?
I think.
There's gameplay
Maybe it
on
was a
top of
different
tall
building
building.
I don't know. It was like the first
When
time
we
to
jumped off?
episode.
Check the substations.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It's probably a different building.
Listen, I want to help you.
Well, I realized she actually already has this parachute, and
But you have to
there's a skin to it.
It's the first
Mm-hmm.
She already had that.
same situation for over 10 years. 10 years of
By the way, have you noticed something? Like, she has a necklace, right?
Yes.
And the same thing is on her back.
Ah,
Oh, really?
I did not
That
notice
symbol.
that.
I didn't notice that. No.
I actually noticed that when I was like,
Do you
don't
think
ask me
it's
why.
like
Yeah,
Some
look.
like seal of the city or something? Does it maybe? I don't know.
there's
Maybe a Night
something.
Runner
I gotta
symbol.
Go. Look, right there.
Oh yeah, that's a
Right.
thistle. That's a thistle. That's a Scotch thistle.
Huh.
what the hell's going
That's
on?
that flower.
So that's the fisheye. Okay, how do we
Yeah, I
get
mean,
there?
yeah,
Interesting.
but should
Is
be
that what a
something,
necklace
right?
is?
Because yeah, the necklace is like same thing. Well, watch
Oh,
that.
mm.
Look,
Check the
Wonder what that
substations.
symbolizes.
There.
One's over there, level with the peak.
must be something.
What about the fisheye? Looks more like Majora's Mask.
Do this. But you have to understand.
Well, they're edible.
It's the first. It's been the same situation for over 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Wait, 15
I
years
cannot
of.
see that.
Wait. She's okay. So it's been 15 years since the fall, right? So basically, at least for 5 years, the shit was good, right?
Right.
Yeah. So they were able to
From
maintain
what I
electricity and some semblance of normalcy for about 5 years, and then things slowly started to degenerate. There's a lot of lore and history, which I think is really cool. Another really cool aspect of this game is there is 15 years of lore for you to learn that you guys just don't know what happened. And there is a lot that happened after Haran. So,
So
it's a lot of cool stuff to learn. There's recordings, there's
got the comic
there's
book.
writings, there's journals, you got comic books, you got the animated stuff that's coming out. Techland has really hammered home the point that they want this Dying Light to be their IP, to be the big thing that
Right.
people are like, oh yeah, Techland, they're the ones that made Dying Light. Just like how, CD Projekt Red has Cyberpunk, or, the everybody has their main flagship game kind of thing
Right.
that they're going for, and this is what they want to do with Dying Light. So Dying Light 2 is kind of a reinvention of like, here is a modern AAA game based on the cult classic that we managed to make.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah.
And
Well, that'll keep people
and-
interested, that's for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure. They're
especially
trying to
with
build
their
a
history
universe out of it.
supporting. Yeah, it's like Fallout almost.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, I was thinking Fallout. All the stories, like all the horror stories especially.
Yeah.
Like,
Also,
I'm not
there's
even
a
interested in that
batch.
kind of stuff, and you read a good story, and it's like dark.
There
and
was
stuff. I
one.
like
There
that.
was one creator. I forget who it was. I was talking about this earlier this month. Who basically found what is like the equivalent of what I would believe a vault would be in Dying Light 2. They found this like GRE facility, and they used the story item that Aiden has, that little key that he's been talking about, to open it up. And like as he was going in, obviously he was doing it during the day, so he had to like duck back out and go back in and duck back out and heal up and go back in and get hit by a volatile once and then go back out and come back in. But I think it's really neat because the environmental storytelling that Techland manages to pull off as well is second to none, especially in Dying Light and even in games that I was playing earlier, like Dead Island. There's just, there's a body on the ground and there's something in it and there's something on it. There's a note next to it. And it's just things that you don't need voice acting for. You just discover
Exactly,
that
yeah.
stuff and you read it and you go into a vault and like in Fallout, you go into a vault and there's maybe some voice acting. There's a story there, but there's some where you just have to piece things together. Like everyone's dead. What happened, So
Yeah.
the environmental storytelling really shines in this from what I've seen.
Right. Also, I noticed something on the right side. Like, do you see the badge? It's a little
Oh,
bit
yeah,
something.
It is
I haven't
something.
I haven't seen that like on anyone's. Like, must be something, or maybe just the outfit thing. Could be possible. Like a lot of the peacekeepers have these badges, symbols, and everything.
Right.
So could be something.
This fucking darkness.
Oh, we gotta see this thing.
How do we get to the substation?
That
It's all power
paraglider.
glider. It'll help you get to places you normally can't reach.
How is Aiden good at everything?
Follow me.
Because he's a Chad.
Superpower. It's a superpower.
Superpowers. Also, I like the outfit. That's the
Yeah, the
pre-order
outfit
bonus
Aiden's
outfit.
wearing is fly as fuck.
Yeah. Also, can you explain something I wanted to ask? Like, what the hell is this thing on the ground? Like, I've been asking this. Like, this
What?
thing is glowing, like on the grass. Is that chemicals?
Fireflies.
Or fireflies?
Oh, those are
like,
fireflies. Yeah, they denote
Okay.
tall grass for you to stealth in and be like not necessarily invisible, but it's like, hey, look, you can rest here, and people have a harder chance of finding you or seeing
so
you.
this is
Okay.
where you can hide, basically. Like,
yeah,
for
there's
stealth
stealth
and all
modes.
that.
Notifies you where all the stealth
Now, I don't
is.
know if the
Now-
fireflies have any sort of other mechanic, but I know that's where they heavily suggested. Yeah.
Yeah, we thought it's chemicals, and we were confused between chemicals and.
And if you
fireflies.
also see, if you see a glowing green like node on the ground, those are opportunity weapons that are just kind of sticking out of the ground. The green ones I've noticed are the ones that do damage. There are opportunity weapons that sit around.
The spear
like
is one of
bottles
those,
and
right?
things. Yeah. The spear
Okay.
is one of those. And the spear is the only one that I saw glowing, so I'm guessing those weapons do damage. The ones that don't glow, but they're like bottles and rocks and things that you can see laying around. But yeah, that'll explain some of the glowing stuff. There's a lot of glowing stuff.
Huh.
Is the bucket still there? Like, can you still pick the bucket? Like,
I
that
didn't
was
pick up a
act-
bucket. I didn't see any
You
buckets.
didn't? Okay.
I did
That was a
I
really
did
cool
see the mom head bucket. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
everybody
Yeah,
saw
we
that,
saw that.
but
Yeah.
It was there in the 16-minute gameplay, the B-roll. I'm just looking at the parkour.
Yeah.
Obviously, the character is like a way higher level, so it's looking way better.
and I think they did tweak some of the speed or I don't. Everybody says gravity, but I don't think it's gravity. I think they just did some dev tweaks that we just don't know, but they just did some dev tweaks that we can't put our finger on that made the parkour look
Right,
better.
Right. Just the
And-
smallest little differences.
Right. And we say gravity, we say floaty,
Yeah,
but that means
floating SNL.
nothing to the developers. That means they may know what we're talking about, but we have no idea what we're talking about when we say it feels floaty.
Yeah.
That's just our subjective thing.
Right.
However, we did notice, and I think Ty was talking about this earlier in the week. The game plays way better than it looks. So this looks really fucking good, and I can't imagine how this version plays compared to the one that we played at the preview event.
Yeah, a lot of people was actually saying that the whole thing, like they were calling it gravity and floatiness, but the parkour looks way better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of people actually complimented that. And the outfit, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah,
It's
right.
so cool.
The gloves and the bracers, and it's so good.
Yeah, that's so cool. I keep looking at that.
I wish.
You know what would be cool if he was like flying and they were like hitting at him? That would
Yeah,
be really
right.
cool.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
They just like know at him like, people asking for zombies during the day. Hey, it's there.
There you go.
They finally, another fun fact is they finally used all of my efforts, all of my like sound. There's no more Crane in the voice. It's all me now. So if you listen, you can. There's no more reused sound
so
effects.
I do remember
there
when
was
they were
Crane
using that.
before, right? Like there was a mix of.
There was
your
a
voice-
mix of me and Crane, yeah, but now they are not reusing any of Roger's stuff. I went in and I did all the efforts, and they're all me right there, even down to some of the. And if you'll listen, I'm particularly proud of a lot of the power attacks and stuff because they're very vicious, and you can tell that Aiden's fighting for his life.
Nice.
Okay. Okay, the jump actually, there was a lot of boost to it.
That was the long jump that he used. That was an ability.
That's an ability, awesome.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, one thing I always like to mention here, the logo that you see here in front of, that's the
Oh
Asus.
yeah, that's the ROG, yeah, the
ROG
Republic
thing
of
logo.
Gaming logo.
Yeah. So because I've actually talked about this before, they're like collabed and everything. So, you know, it's nice to mention that.
Right. For one of the contests, I believe you can win like a laptop or something. So that's pretty
Yep.
cool.
Speaking of contests, on release, I'm giving away PS5s on my stream. PS5s
damn.
and maybe some other fun Techland tidbits.
Okay.
But I'm going to be giving
Nice.
away I have two. That's all I managed to get my hands on. And
Yeah, I
paid
was wondering
way
how
more
you
than
got
I
the-
needed to. But I have two PlayStation 5s is one more PlayStation 5 than some people have.
Oh,
So
yeah, true that.
I'm giving those away for free. I paid for those out of my own pocket. Those are going to be big prizes. There's also later in the month after the game releases, I'm going to give speedrunners some time to learn the game and the mechanics. And then a month and a half after the game releases, we're going to host a speedrun tournament, and the grand prize is going to be a large 4-digit cash amount. So get excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I can't wait to have those.
I'm
fun
just
little
I'm
tidbits
just
come out.
thinking about Ozzy. Like he's jumping right now.
See, but you got to realize, I told Ozzy this several times. Game's on a different engine, so
Yeah.
it's basically a brand new game, bro. Go ahead and learn the new mechanics and everything because it's not. This ain't Dying
he's gonna
Light.
grind. He's gonna grind. He's really gonna grind that. Okay, I like the fact that you can pretty much enter every building.
Yeah, that's
like there's
neat.
an opening.
That's really cool. And I really enjoyed the change in. Oh, that scared the shit out of me.
Yes.
I really enjoy. If you'll notice, I used to be a sound designer, so I pay attention to this shit. But when you go into the building, there's a high pass filter, which means there are certain layers taken out of the music. It just becomes that like that beat, that driving beat in the background,
Ooh,
and
see that.
it becomes very soft. And it changes. When you're outside, it's nice and open and free and crisp. But when you go inside, it feels very claustrophobic. Just listen to the sound as soon as he goes in.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a nice little transition there.
Yep, and it stops. So
they
you can
added
chill
that
there
later.
and search and stuff. No, that's not in post. That's in engine.
Yeah, that's
The,
fantastic.
the audio suite in this game is all in engine. They didn't touch anything. The sound, the music, the sound effects, and if you'll notice, there's a lot of procedural things when Aiden is getting groped by that zombie. There are 4 different stages of being groped by that zombie, and there's a transition between each different stage based on how you respond with the QuickTime event and things like that. So it's very complex in every aspect. This game, and Oni has said it before, this game is so much more complex. Like things like the gore, you can't just hit an arm and the arm falls off anymore. You have to hit the joints. You have to make sure that they're at the right angle.
Ooh.
It's
That's
intense.
really interesting. That's
Yeah,
good to know.
Yeah. That's why people were like, "Oh, the arm's not falling off when
Yeah,
I hit
exactly.
it."
Yes,
Like,
I was hearing people
because
complain about that. Yeah.
because that's not how the game works anymore. But yeah, continue.
That's actually
yeah.
really good. That's actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
A reference to The Walking Dead.
Yeah, The Walking Dead.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Everybody saw that.
Is this the edge of the map, by the way? Because there's
No.
buildings in the back, but it looks like okay.
That's not the edge. Okay.
A lot of wilderness. My favorite character coming up.
Aglot?
Yeah.
I love Aglot.
No. See, Private? Now calm down and let Aglot think. What's there to
I actually watched one of the video. It was actually uploaded today. It was from Novix. So basically, the character's name, right? It's basically spelled opposite of Tolga and Fatin.
Yeah.
Actually, really, that's interesting. Like that's a real good.
You will notice they weren't Techland wasn't fucking lying or kidding around when they were saying Easter eggs. There's Easter eggs in like almost every square inch of this fucking map, and it will take 5 ever to find them. I have found several in just my like 2 hours of playing the game. I found like 6.
Oh damn.
And there were ones that I didn't even think. Like there were references to characters I voiced in shows that I had no idea that anybody had ever watched. So and it's the references to me. It's references to Dying Light, to other video games. It's crazy. So Easter egg channels, hunters, things like that are going to be playing this game for a very long time. Yeah.
You're gonna get a lot of content.
For sure.
It's coming.
back to base? Who the heck are you, anyway?
Someone offering to help. I'll check what happened to the power.
Also, one more thing. You see, the PK-77, is that like a rank or something? Because I've seen that have.
It could be a rank. I feel like a lot of it could be set dressing. I wouldn't read too far into some of the stuff that people are wearing. But the world building is what is really apparent in that stuff. You can tell that even just the fact that you were like, is that a rank? It really speaks to how much detail is put into this stuff.
Yeah.
And comparing the different classes of enemies you have. Obviously, Aglot is a bigger dude. The private over there is probably a weaker guy. You know, just sussing things out.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that I wanted to point out is a lot of people were commenting on the facial animations in the cutscenes.
Yes.
And,
I did see that a lot.
They do look very Fallout, but I want to explain why. This game wasn't made in English first. This game was made in Polish first. So everything you see here, everything you see in English is a dub. Everything you see in English has been localized to a language specific to that region. Now everybody's going to be playing mostly in English because that is a lingua franca. That is what everybody's speaking. But this was produced in Polish. When I was recording everything, I would hear all of these lines in Polish first from the guy on the mocap stage who was doing the mocap. Now, there is mocap for this, but the mocap for the face wasn't in English. So every time you see an actor speaking in English on the screen, there is an animator behind that. There is 10 animators behind that, making that each individual smile, you know, animating everything to what the person was speaking. Yes, they have some help from an AI, I guess, or some sort of robot that's like doing basic mouth shapes and things like that for the words. But the animation itself for like moving eyebrows and moving eyes and moving like cheeks and ears and noses and things, the tiny micro movements, as an actor I catch on to this stuff, but the tiny micro movements that you don't really notice but are part of a performance, those are all animated separately. So it does look a little stilted, but that's just because it's not in a native language. You're not going to get the Last of Us 2 performance capture in this game. I'm sorry, it's just not built that way. Like that's just not how the game was designed. That's not the type of game you're playing. You know what I mean?
That's good to know.
Yeah, so I just wanted to explain that away, so you guys understood
that's
why.
Actually
it
really
looked
good
like
to
that
know
way.
because a lot of people were asking about that. Even the comments, they were like, even I personally thought that, you know, obviously the lip syncing was a bit weird, but now you answered the reason why it's like that.
Yeah.
So that's good to know.
Anything else about it?
That's top secret military information. We're trying to figure out how to get up there.
Just go ahead and tell him everything, why don't you? Every last detail.
Spidey's like listening to everything. Spidey, gotta say something.
I've already seen it though.
Piece of shit work.
But
Yeah, we've
there
seen
are
it too, but
things that are coming up that
but it's just as
I have questions.
we all have seen
Like-
it.
There are
Just
obvious signs of the electricity having returned.
Like?
This here appears to be a substation.
Well, now I'm listening. In a second, those gangsters are gonna come up and they're speaking some gibberish language.
We have orders to get
And I'm pretty
Okay.
sure
Functioning
it
once
sounds like their own language or something.
Meaning, turn it back on.
I think they had subtitles on in the actual Dying to Know episode where it actually was English. It just sounds kind of weird.
I could explain that in a bit too, but we'll
Yeah,
get to there first.
let that thing come. We'll talk about it.
Without the equipment.
You'd be willing to do that? You'd be doing a great favor. for
They come. We'll give the reference and then let's see. Yeah. So this is exactly what
Okay.
Spider was
Yeah.
mentioning. What?
They do sound a little crazy, because they fucking are. They're renegades. These guys are insane for a lot of reasons that I can't specifically mention, but there is
Drugs.
a very,
Hell yeah.
very good reason. You said it, not me. Very, very good reason. These guys are talking like they're a bunch of junkies. like there's a reason there that like everything you see as a filmmaker, everything on screen is done for a reason. There is an explanation there. It's not just they did it to piss you off.
Of course.
So I like to be the guy who's like, look, it's okay, you're fine. Yeah, they do talk a little weird, but there's a reason for that.
Well, especially, these guys talk like they are actually speaking another language. He's like, he's talking about his motherfucking a goat.
I think that just might be him misunderstanding what he's saying in English.
I think so, yeah.
Like,
That is
like
part
what
of the
everybody
joke.
else
They
was
actually-
misunderstanding.
Yeah, they actually didn't understand what these guys were saying. So
He's like,
he
I think
was,
he's talking about a
making fun
goat
of
or
it.
something, and he's talking through
Yeah,
a
it was-
mask, and like they're 30 feet away. There's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that he said?
I think it was something about his mother and a goat.
And a goat. Yeah, that was a good one.
Goats are huge.
Taking that electricity. Thank you very much. Kill him.
Oh, here we go.
That didn't look bad. The drop kick. Later. it
Yeah.
does.
But that was
Enemies
good.
can combo now.
Yes.
Yep.
I noticed that too. I like how the enemies really try to push themselves onto you in combat.
Oh, like this.
Fun personality thing that I want to point out. There we'll see it later in the video, but they made I've recorded so much stuff for this game. I'm talking tens of thousands of lines and efforts and things like that.
Wow.
Some of which aren't going to get used, but that means they have a ridiculously large bank of noises that I make. So with that, what I've noticed is the sound designers are geniuses.
Yep.
They take the sounds that I've made and put them in places that I wasn't intending to do that, but I'm like, that sounds really fucking good there. Like, there are some points when Aiden, he's a cocky son of a bitch, so there are some points when Aiden jumps out of the way, dodges something, is narrowly missed, and you'll hear him laugh at the person who missed. You'll hear him, kind of be quippy and fun around the people who
Yeah, we've actually seen
can't
him.
hit him. Yeah.
I've actually heard him a lot of times laughing while doing the parkour, like missing a lot of the almost falling off the edge. Like he just starts laughing. because of that.
There's that. There's a lot of cool parkour stuff that we'll hear in just a bit. I think we did hear it when we started parkouring. Once you start, there's a moment when there's a point when you start a parkour run, right? There's just the normal parkour, getting from place to place, from a rooftop to another rooftop, searching, looting, whatever. But then there's a moment when you start traversal, and that's getting from point A to point B, right? Getting from Fisheye to this substation. And there is a point, maybe like a minute into your, maybe a little less than that, like 20 seconds into your parkour run, where Aiden starts to be like, all right, let's get serious. And he's like, let's turn this into a real run. So he has this little quip to himself, and then the music starts getting bigger, and the music starts getting more grandiose, and the music starts scoring itself to your actions. I have a video about this that I'm going to put out. I'm just waiting on approval about this little mechanic. It's so fun. I had done these quips, and then the sound designers came back, and they're like, we want to try and make these quips into a mechanic so that people know when the parkour is going to get, double points, or people know when the parkour is going to start tracking you, or start starting the score to move. So those quips were really fun, and I got to do a bunch of those. And in the gameplay that we played, I only heard one, But in this gameplay, I heard several. And I'm glad that they started implementing those because it gives Aiden a lot of personality compared to someone like Crane that's just, you know, efforts, you know, hitting. He's a man that has a mission and he's going to do it. But Aiden he's a wild card. He's a wild card.
Right.
Like wild cards.
Finally, Spider speaks.
I've been talking here and there, man. When I start live streaming again, I'll get used to like talking a lot and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Cause I quit YouTube for like a year and a half.
Find a cable and connect the source of power to the transmitter. That should restore the circuit.
Okay. Shot a wire.
Report in.
Yep, I'm on top of the substation.
I get confused sometimes, and like if it's you talking, Jonah.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't a piece of shit here after all.
Oh, I didn't notice that before. You have to find a more direct route to the plug
Yes.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Ah,
Met a
okay.
bunch of people
Got limited
from
wires
the
length, so
substation
that's why.
So that's why you haven't called me yet.
You should see them. Decide which one I like more.
The music is so calm right now, like.
Yeah, it's a
Chill.
thinking man's music right now because you're doing
Yeah.
a puzzle.
It's very pleasant. I wasn't too sure how I felt about the soundtrack, like, compared to the first game, because the first game is so unique. But honestly, they're
is.
doing a really
Yeah.
fantastic job with just
No,
implementing
the-
things into the game world.
And they pay homage a lot to the first game
Right.
with the different instruments that they decide to use and the time signatures and the keys that they use. It's very similar, but they did a really good job. It's very similar, but it's also removed a little bit, and it's its own thing.
Right.
Yeah. Also, we saw this chest here. Just something I like to mention.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
where
right
you
there.
get
So what
inhibitors.
all things do you get inside? Like other than that, inhibitors. So what all things do you get? Because I've seen that in the gameplay. It's better if somebody explains it, like the things you get inside it.
Yeah, Ty knows. He said it was inhibitors and what else?
I don't know what else. I just know it's inhibitors.
Exactly. That's why I asked.
I think when I did it, it was inhibitors, maybe an item and a weapon, and then like an inhaler or something like that. There was an assortment of things in there.
So you can get
you're
weapons.
Yeah. Generally, it's a GRE crate. You know, it's for inhibitors, and those you get 3 inhibitors, and then you use the 3 inhibitors to boost either your strength, I think, or your health, or your agility.
Oh, so it's like Breath of the Wild.
No. Stamina, health, and stamina. Yeah. It's exactly like Breath of the Wild.
Nice.
There's a lot of really good lifted gameplay mechanics from other open world games that have done very well, and it just fits. It just works. It
Yeah,
just
use
works.
what works. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Todd. God.
What?
That's a Fallout joke.
Todd God.
The Todd God. Yeah, man.
Todd Howard the God.
Praise be Howard.
All right, so we talked about this basically. To whomever you assign this thing, you basically unlock different stuff. So for peacekeepers, you get like car traps and everything, and you also got a lot of stuff that you can see on the ground. But I'm thinking, is it like the more you like give to peacekeepers, like the more places you unlock for peacekeepers, the more thing you unlock, like the things you see on the bottom, like.
Here's what
I'm sure you
I
guys can
have. Here's what I have theory crafted myself. There are very few things that I can say ex cathedra from the seat of like with authority, because I'm just a voice actor. I can comment on the voice stuff pretty confidently, but
Yeah.
this is just me speculating as a gamer. When we did the water tower, that was a separate building, a separate type of building, and a separate complete set of things that we could upgrade. I don't think anybody's talked about this.
Oh, so it's random for everyone.
Yeah, so there's either it's random or a water tower is different than a substation.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're 2 different types of
Yeah, of course, of
chess
course.
pieces. And the different upgrades that you get were based on substation or water tower. I didn't sit here and analyze a whole lot of it, but car traps, and then in the other one, the first pick was the bolt rifle or whatever for the PKs. But the first one here is a car trap. So I don't know what the discrepancy is there, if they changed something between the two like game releases, but it's not all the same.
Yeah, because I sort of like guessed from here because at the left side it says rewards, so basically it's like giving power to the city at the same time it's unlocking the car traps. And if you look at the bottom right side, like there's something that's already unlocked. So maybe something that's already been assigned to survivors, like one place has been already assigned. So now if you assign this thing to survivors, you basically unlock the airbags as well.
Yeah,
So I
those
feel
are
like
zip
the
lines.
more-
I think that he's already unlocked from the water tower.
Exactly.
The zip lines in the old town.
So that means what we were thinking, we were right about that. So the more you give to the people, the more stuff you unlock, for
Yeah.
them, like
Yeah.
for you basically, or for them as well. Also, I just realized there's an upgrade to the jump pad, like the airbags.
Yeah, I would assume based on the tooltip that it makes you jump higher, or they are located higher. I don't know, but.
I just hit myself really hard on the head.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Hope you're okay.
I was scratching for some reason.
You're good.
Yeah, I'm good. I didn't knock out.
This fucking saw.
Okay, I like this car trap.
Car traps are strong. I saw a video of it just destroying a group of people.
Oh, for sure. Changed it quite a lot since the first game. Just the overall effect.
Yeah. It's got more
Okay,
punch to it. I didn't really use too many
I'm
traps.
actually gonna pause one more place. Like, let's go back a little bit. Over the right side, I've seen someone actually be there. What the hell is that?
Those are chemicals. Again.
Everything?
Yeah, all of that is chemicals, correct.
And I could visit
Jesus,
that.
the GRE
You
really did their
can.
work.
You can even.
Yeah, I saw
walk,
someone.
You can even walk on it. However,
That is crazy.
it really affects your immunity level, even in the daylight. So if you
of
walk
course.
on the GRE chemicals, your immunity level will decrease rapidly, and even in the daylight. And if you stay there, you'll die. You'll turn. There's a cool sound effect, but you'll turn, and that's it. You die. But there, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of lore that's just happened to the city that you don't know about. You walk into the city and you're like, "What the fuck are these chemicals?" I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But the NPCs will tell you through the story. You can learn if you don't want to do the story. You don't have to unless you don't want to beat the game. If you can go do side quests, you can learn from recordings, from environmental storytelling, from NPCs just shouting. There are side quests that can tell you a lot about the lore. This game is packed with it. A lot of the voice lines that I did in particular had to deal with like Aiden learning about the world. So yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
That looks so customizable. It just does.
Are you pissed at me?
The safe house?
Yeah. I don't think it will be, but just I don't know.
And
why.
that would
I
be
think there will
awesome.
be different resources there based on who you side with. So if the PKs you've sided with the PKs, you may be able to pick up a weapon there, and there might be a craft master available at this location.
Right.
But if you side with the survivors, you might be able to get
Farms and
ingredients.
everything?
Yeah, you might be able to get ingredients to make med kits because there was those the honey and the chamomile and things like that. You might be able to get food. You might be able to get a nicer place to sleep at night. Something like that. The amenities vary greatly. And another thing that I want to point out, when I was fiddling around with the map, can't show you guys the map, but when I was fiddling around with the map, safe zones are modular. That doesn't mean that you can change them, but it does mean that the game can change them based on where they are. There are some safe zones that are just a UV light. There are some safe zones that are just a sleeping bag with no UV light. There are some safe zones that are like, sleeping bag, UV light, and spikes. There's different things at different places that you can take advantage of.
Right.
And there's a lot more of them.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
There are a lot more substations. You know, we could get us all going.
Can we first go to the fisheye and...
Yeah, sure. Let's meet in the canteen. I'll wait for you there.
Let's go. I really want to go on top of that building on the left side.
I want to go on that fucking blimp.
Yeah, I was thinking the same
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah. Actually, that would be
It
cool.
kind of looks like on all the buildings without like growth on them, those are buildings you can't explore. Devs usually
That's a
like
good
mark
that's
stuff.
a yeah. That's
Yeah.
a good little catch there. I didn't notice that, but you're probably right.
Yeah.
Do we have buildings like that?
There's growth there, you can go into that building. There's growth there, you can go into that building. There's growth there, you can go into that building. Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
I know one of
But
those
there's a lot of growth on a lot of buildings. That's true.
Yeah.
That's
There was
true.
There was a building next to the chemical thing we were talking about, Aiden. Like, why did I call you Aiden?
And so it begins.
Oh man.
That is crazy. But you are Aiden, so screw that.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, so basically, the chemicals place, there was a building that didn't have the greenery on top. Like, there was no tree, no nothing. So basically, I think what Spider said, he's maybe right about that.
Yeah,
You
we'll
cannot
see.
explore that place.
Let's keep looking.
There was no opening as well on that place. So
Right, right.
I feel like he's right. Aiden. I'm telling you, I'm gonna start calling you Aiden from now on.
Sure, go for it, man. I'll get used to it.
Oh, after the game, definitely.
I'm gonna start calling you Legoshi.
There you go.
Oh, Legoshi,
Bringing it
yeah.
back. Deep dive.
Frank is one handsome fella.
Really, he is?
Such a booze.
He's not bad looking.
Bit of a drunk.
I haven't seen him
Yeah.
that way. Almost given up.
Frank.
Okay, so let's listen to this carefully because there is a lot of info here, story related.
Yeah, yeah.
One by one, like fucking rabbits.
Frank? Frank, it's me. Wake up.
You? What the fuck you doing here? Interrupting my conversation with...
Rovik's been dead for years, Frank. Pull yourself together. Got a visitor.
And who's that? Queen of fucking England? I gotta act all dainty now?
This is Aiden. He has a GRE access key. Waltz used it to turn on the electricity in town.
Working GRE key? You're full of shit.
Show it to him.
Where'd you get it?
From one of Waltz's men.
So you want to Waltz's men too?
Hey, easy, Frank. Aiden is on our side. We think this contains data proving what they did to us in the hospital.
So you still believe you'll find out why Waltz fucked up your childhood? Okay, I'll tell you. Ready? Yeah, because he's a fucking psycho. He's fucked in the head. That's your holy grail and Ark of the Covenant all in one, Lawan. Happy? Aiden, right? You and Lawan can get the fuck out of my face now.
Alright, before the action
That
starts.
hard cut was weird. Anyway.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought the same thing.
There must be something. That maybe they're trying to hide something. Maybe.
Some extra story stuff in there.
We're trying
Maybe,
to fit as
something
much as
big
they can in. It might,
Ah,
it might
yeah.
be a story thing.
Yeah, it must be a big spoiler.
Could be.
However,
Yeah, now so-
this
yeah.
happens. The scene immediately after does happen chronologically, so I can confirm that. They're not skipping too much. But
so
you
three
will
things here.
notice that you will notice just a second that
Yeah.
Frank's voice actor changed from the.
Oh,
from the
yeah,
original
actually.
preview.
Yes. Yeah.
He mentioned that. I
Now
mentioned
that
that. And a lot of
said-
people were saying that.
That said, keep in mind this entire
Mhm.
fucking scene, Frank is plastered. So
Oh, yeah.
his voice is. I will confirm, his voice sounds really good. It is one of my favorites in the game.
Oh wow.
And just wait until he's not drunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's a drunk.
Alright,
he's
so-
a booze hound.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And a lot of people mentioned that. Even, in fact, Ty himself mentioned that when we were, like, reacting to this stuff, and he was like, did the voice actor change? And I was like, I'm not sure about that, because I didn't really focus on his voice that much. But comparing, back to E3 2019, it did change. But then again, he was drunk, so I wasn't sure. But now you confirmed it, so that's really good to know. Now, talking about the story here, like everything like said here. So from my understanding, the thing he has on his hand is the key to basically open a lot of the like GRE facility stuff. Like a lot of things that has been locked, like most likely can be unlocked with this. Like I'm talking about the GRE facilities most likely. It's the key, right? From what I understood, it's to open all the GRE stuff. That's how he was able to get the electricity back and everything. But the main thing I heard was Lawan. She was also being experimented on, like during her childhood. So, like if I try to understand it correctly, before this whole thing happened, like even before 15 years, like when everything was normal, that's when the experiment happened. From my understanding, if I'm right, I think that's when it happened because, right, if it's before 15 years, then they will. Aiden cannot be 15 years old, or
He
Lawan
is
cannot
not.
be 15.
He is not 15. I think he is in his early to mid 20s.
Exactly. So that way, it's like, I think it's I'm not sure. Okay, so it's most likely 20 years ago when they were like kids, and GRE did experiment on them. They were like kids and everything. So that's when, if I'm right, Haran thing didn't happen, right? Like from what we understand, Haran thing didn't happen. Everything was normal, and they were being experimented on, which is cool to know because the experiment happened. The only thing we knew was Aiden and Mio. They both were like experimented on, like
Right.
But I didn't have any idea about Lawan.
Now we did, and Ty can confirm this. In our gameplay we did get a very, very good timeline. Very good, very well done, honestly. And it kind of reminded me of the Dead Island trailer. This big cinematic. In the
I didn't
beginning
get to
before
play
we
the
started
game, by
playing.
the way. Just to put that forward.
Oh, you
If you
did?
think-
Oh
he
my
knows-
god.
I got
okay.
invited to play, but I was on vacation.
I
so.
think I told you, Jonah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Anyway,
You're good.
apparently I'm the only one here who played it. But there was a big
Yeah.
cinematic in the beginning that did a very good job of recapping a lot of stuff.
Oh,
Now,
yeah,
nobody
so
was
I
allowed
think
to
it was-
show that, but like we were able to sit
But I
down
think
and be
we've
like,
seen
okay,
a
this is
bit
what's
of
going on.
it.
You did.
think
You
we've
did
seen
see a bit of it. There was a game journalist outlet that will not be named that accidentally uploaded it. So
Yes. Yep.
And I must have used it accidentally. So,
but yeah, the before you play the game, you will get to sit down and they will tell you exactly what happened.
What
There's
happened,
no
yeah.
speculation.
that's good to know. I think we covered everything here. And Walt, yeah, that guy's a bad guy. Now we know.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, for sure.
everyone speculated him to be the tutorial guy, like him teaching Aiden stuff. But then now we know he's a bad guy, and he's involved with a lot of stuff here. So he had access to the key. Must be something. I don't know. We'll find out that. But we know he's a bad dude. Very bad dude.
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue. Let's move forward. Fuck the childhood. I don't know how. Oh, this thing. Every time I hear that.
Fuck. Something's happening. Will you check? I'm right behind you.
I'm sure.
That's the worst time to be drunk.
Yeah, right.
To all units, renegades are in the central loop. I
Yeah, poor
repeat,
guy's having a mental
renegades
break.
are in the
Okay, this thing. So me and Ty were talking about it yesterday as well. So everyone basically in the city, you have peacekeepers, you have survivors. Like everyone sit together in the fisheye, right? Like it's a common thing. It's a common bar, whatever you want to call it, like common sitting place for everyone. Like everyone meets there.
Right.
If I'm right, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Like are they not like really against each other there or something like that? Like how are the factions together?
From what I know, there is a sort of honor among thieves kind of vibe, where this is a safe spot, right? If you start shit here, you know, Frank is gonna be like, "What are you doing? Get the fuck out of here! This is my bar." Like there is a sort of unspoken rule there. That's the reason why everybody's not killing each other. Also, it's the only place in the city where you can go get booze and pay for it. It's the only place in the city where you can have a neutral ground to talk out a beef or something like that. You know, it's like the saloon in the Wild West. You get tossed out for fighting in the bar, right? So,
John Wick Hotel.
Yeah, it's like the John Wick Hotel.
Yep. Right. Renegades don't give a fuck about that.
No, obviously that's why they're attacking.
Yeah.
They're surrounding the fisheye. Can anyone hear me? Over.
Yeah, it's Renegades listening.
Jesus.
That's the language spider.
I
The
didn't notice
spider's
that
like
before.
Yeah, they're goofy as hell.
That's fucking awesome.
Oh,
Now this fight in particular is one of my favorites. This whole like mission is great.
yeah. It is. We actually see a lot of the moves and everything.
See ya.
I hope you can join the Renegades somehow.
Oh yeah, that would be
Oh
cool.
yeah,
They kept the
That was
29
a-
mission in the game. We know that, so if that is
that was
how
a
it
question
is,
a lot
then-
of people were asking.
I'll make friends with them so fast and huff paint.
Yeah,
Whatever the fuck they do.
yeah. Huff paint. 2 lines of acid, you know.
Even back in
Literal
E3
acid.
2018,
Yeah, literal acid, literal chemicals.
But you remember back
the
in,
chemicals.
that'd be crazy, but I know. But you remember the E3 2018 announcement thing? Like, you saw all the outcomes. They were like talking about all the choices and everything, and they said 3 outcomes. So they showed Peacekeepers, they showed Survivors, and they showed Renegades. So from my understanding, there must be a way you can actually work with them, because that's how the city gets destroyed then. Otherwise, how will that outcome actually come, right? Like, they were showing these people standing there with spears and everything. So there must be something.
Spears are
Renegades
the
can-
funnest thing in this game.
They do have a lot of agency in the story. I will say I can't say anything more than that. But
of
the
course.
Renegades are a very prominent faction.
Okay, that's good to know.
There's there to jam everything up, pretty much, I'm guessing. Like, things will be going well, and all of a sudden they show up and fuck everything.
Actually,
guessing.
one thing that I really... People are being very reductive with a whole lot of the like decisions and consequences thing. It's not like anything you've ever played before, guys. The best way to put it is you have to choose as... You gotta realize that everyone else around you has their own motivations, their own intentions, their own end game, their own human, like, things they want to do, and they will not react the way you think a game is gonna react. You have to play this as you against a human. You have to play this as you would against a human.
Right.
So every choice that you make, you have to consider what their motivations are, what these people want, who is their leader, who is working under their leader. You have to think about all of this shit, because if you don't, you'll make a choice that you think is going to go one way, when in reality, you should have known it was going to go the other way the entire time, because all the signs were pointing there. So you have to, like, you can't just be like, oh, I choose morally good option instead of neutral or bad option. They're all morally gray. You just got to pick the one that you think is going to be best for you.
So you have to be smart.
Yeah, you got to be real
It's kind of
smart.
like The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
so, like,
yeah.
That person didn't like that as soon as you did it, and then it's going to be a consequence later. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
The moss thing falling off? Da, you mentioned that?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
One of your videos?
It used to glitch a little bit, but it looks way better now.
Yeah. Oh, this dropkick. Let's talk about this. What is that?
That is the vault dropkick.
But why is it like he's going so quick there? Like, it's just...
It is a parkour
magnetizing.
combat move.
But is that realistic? Like, he's going like he's like being pulled there like a
None
magnet.
of this game is realistic.
Yeah, the physics.
Ali?
Of,
Well, actually,
a little
but I'm
bit.
talking like like a
Now
lot
that
of
he has
things.
superpowers, or I think he has superpowers, all my logic expectations are out the window.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, we're thinking that too, but you know, we're talking about Techland adding a lot of the parkour moves and everything, like obviously based on like real parkour moves and everything, right? Like they're real parkour moves.
The
You can do
moves
real
are
life.
real. The person doing them is super, like, unreal.
Human.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The moves themselves
Oh my god. I was
are
so
real.
happy. Like, I was going to get so happy. I thought you were gonna say superhuman. I'm like, he just changed it to super.
Nah, dude,
something.
I have no idea about any, like, superhuman, like superhero moves
Yeah.
or anything like that. I just know from what I have seen, that everything that all the animations are done by professional, real parkour experts. It does look a little magnetic, but if you go and play, and again, I'm going to compare games, but go back and play Arkham Asylum. There are a few punches in Arkham Asylum that seem ridiculously
Oh, for
stretchy.
sure. Yeah.
And like there's magnetism there too, and that won many awards. So the realism of it is the move and how it looks and the ability for you to do that. The unrealism of it comes in, okay, this has to be able to be comboed with every other parkour move, and in order to do that, it needs to be a little stretchy. Now, with that, the way it looks, I think is the best, like, combo that you could possibly get.
Obviously,
I mean,
we're gonna enjoy that.
There's obviously tweaks and stuff like that they can make. I mean, the game is never going to be perfect. I'm sorry, but
Of course.
the limitations that they're working with and the ability to be like, okay, you went from a vault and you can go immediately into 1,000 other parkour moves. I feel like that's you got to cut them some slack there.
Right.
But the vault itself is a parkour move, and from what I have, like when I played, it's like the beginning. It's like how you start all of your parkour combat chains, from what I've seen, because that's one of the first things you get. Like one of the first things in the tree is the ability to vault over somebody and then drop kick them. To chain that, and you can move that into other things. We'll see them use the grappling hook here soon. That or we did see them use the grappling hook in the last.
We did,
thing as a kind of like a combo to pull him over here, and then Aiden stomped on his head and he's dead. Though that was exclusively parkour. He didn't use a weapon to kill that guy at all.
Right.
So that's one way that I really enjoy. You can save your weapon's durability. You can move around the battlefield at the same time doing damage. But yeah, the parkour vault thing is super cool. You're going to be doing that a lot, and every fucking time it's satisfying.
Yep. I was just checking something. Like, I see a logo in front of me. Do you guys see it next to the tree, like in the middle of the tree, like not in the middle, it's towards the right side.
Which tree?
Is it like the green sign or whatever?
The green sign, yeah.
Oh yeah. It looks like a coat of arms of something.
Yeah, I'm
just like a pub.
A pub.
Yeah. I was a bit confused. I was trying to match up with Lawan's thing. I don't even remember what it looked like.
It might be. I don't know.
We'll check that later.
We'll see. We'll get a ton of Lawan.
Yeah. Spider will be interested. I'm pretty sure they missed that shot.
I don't know. It's on fire, man.
Yeah, they did some damage.
I thought they were supposed to hit hair. Oh, one thing. Let's go back. I saw something on the left side. I missed out, like, back. It says jobs. Is that supposed to be a quest thing?
It looks like there's a bounty board there.
A bounty board, yeah. I missed it last time, so it's good to see that.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. I'm looking, man. I'm looking at stuff.
I am perceiving.
Oh. This looks a little bit weird, like when it goes up. Like sometimes,
yeah, like the hook goes to the rope.
Yeah, it will be fixed easily. I feel like. But we
a
can
lot
like
of these
ignore
minor glitches are easy to fix.
Yeah.
Right.
GRE quarantine zone. Right there is the GRE quarantine zone.
Right there. Yeah, it's sweet. I would like, I don't know, but I would like there to be pretty extensive, for lack of a better term, you guys know what I mean when I say dungeons, right?
Yeah.
Like I would, my dream when I was playing Dying Light is like, you guys know Blackreach in Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
The big dwarven city. I want that in Dying Light somewhere. A giant dungeon that we just have to, course through. It's gonna be so much fun. But that's just me being a gamer.
Yeah, and of course, in the background, like at the back, you can see that ship, the cruise ship. I don't know. There was a name given to that. That's Peacekeeper
There was.
Place.
Yeah, and they had said it publicly, so I can tell you, it is Missy.
Oh,
Missy, yeah.
Missy.
Nice.
It was called that. Yeah.
That is where the Peacekeepers shack up, and that's where their base of operations are.
We saw that thing the bureau, remember?
Yeah, there's a thing like that in Fallout too. There's a giant USS. What is it? Was it the USS Enterprise or something like that? It was like Montgomery. I think it was Montgomery in Fallout 3, where there was a bunch of people who were shacking up. But that's owned by the PKs now.
And one thing to mention, at the left side, you see the building, like next to the UI. The building that you see, the big one.
Yeah.
At the extreme left. You can see a lot of these things, like it's made for parkour.
Oh yeah,
so you can definitely do parkour there and like climb up if you don't have any other basically utilities with you, so you can just
and
go up.
Something I noticed when we were looking at the city is that they were really, really tactful with how they tried to describe the world, and I understand why they did what they did. When we would always ask, like, even when I was playing in the booth, asking the developers, because I asked all these questions when I was like actually doing my job. I'm like, can I see gameplay? Like, can you show me some like combat or something like that? Like, I was very interested.
Of course.
But I was like, how big is the map? And they're like, it's big, vertically up. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so how big is it flat? And they're like, it's big. So like there is no real way to quantify it because everything is built on top of each other. And
Right.
Yeah.
the best way to describe it is dungeoneering up. So when you go to a building and you're like, oh, there's something at the very top. There's an opening at the very top, but there's no vents around here. So you'll parkour up the building, and then you'll get a minor break inside of a mini dark zone. So you have like 7 to 10 rooms that you can, look around in on this floor that you get up to, and then you're like, okay, maybe you've scrounged enough for a med kit, you scrounged enough for some arrows, something like that. You craft, and then you keep going up, and then you go up to the next floor, and then you go inside and check it out, and then you go up maybe 6 or 7 floors, and then you go into the next floor, and then you're at the top, and maybe there's a chest, maybe there's something. I just think it's a really, really innovative, fun way to go about dungeoneering rather than just having, let's just go down to the subway or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Also, you see the forest at the right side. Like, is that something you can explore? Because we actually saw that in the gameplay itself. It's actually there. There's a lot of forest.
I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything in the forest, but I haven't seen 80% of the zones yet because I didn't need to. They didn't need to show me it, so I didn't get to see it. Right. There are a lot of them, so I would anticipate you could do it. I just don't know. I hope like so. I really want to do like I want to do like Naruto parkouring through trees. That would be sick.
That will be, yeah.
I also haven't seen animals, but I have seen animals, but I haven't seen like mechanics surrounding animals. I've seen there's goats, there's chickens, there's
you talked about dogs.
There's dogs. You can pet the dog, which is pretty pog. You can pet the dog. That's pretty pog. But yeah, it's very, very well built vertically up. And I would love to go into the forest at some point. Yeah. Maybe that would be sweet.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Imagine flying down to the forest. That would be so cool with your friends.
Well, it looks like you can go to that building up on the hill. So I imagine.
Oh my God! Yeah.
That is so far. I don't know if you can go that far. It could be just
like a laboratory or something.
Fingers crossed.
Mad scientist there.
Yeah, we'll find out soon.
Dr. Camden 2.0. He got knocked. A weapon disappeared. Is he trying to take that thing out?
He's he's staunching it.
Aiden, more renegades on the lower level.
Oh, this is so cool. The paraglider is so cool.
It's very good for the verticality that they've brought into the central loop. I want to know how it works in the Old Town because everything is so slow. Maybe it's just mostly used to like. Oh yeah.
What I realized is, like, we actually talked about it before, like I talked about it in a different video as well, but weapons have like 2 different upgrades, so 2 different mods basically. So I think it's like electricity too, if from my understanding, and you can like, I think you can use it like, I actually called it Thor hammer. Basically, if you have a hammer, you put the electric effect, you could basically be Thor, like shooting thunders of that.
What I believe, and this is all just me theory crafting and based on what I have seen from gameplay and what I have seen from what Techland has shown us, the way you don't repair your weapons anymore. They've made that clear. There is no weapon repair. But the way you improve the durability of your weapons is by adding mods. That increases like the numerical durability of your weapon by a set amount based on the mod. Now, there are 2 charges that we've seen. From what I understand, you can either let the charges occur passively when you hit, so there's a % chance when you hit, or you can use an active, and the active ability is like casting a spell.
Right.
I really
That's
like.
what I said.
I really like how I had mentioned this earlier when I was talking about clothing, but modern Dark Ages, and like they wanted to make basically kind of this whole high fantasy setting in this modern place, and I was always wondering how the fuck, because like in high fantasy there's magic. How the fuck do you do magic in a world where there's no technology, let alone magic? So they found a really cool and creative way to implement that whole high fantasy vibe with just your weapons. You have a ranged option in a bow, and you have a ranged option in casting a spell. I don't know how far away that can go, but probably not terribly far. But still, it's terrifying, and I wouldn't want to get hit with it.
Yeah. Also, the armor thing, right? Like, we know about the armor because it's there in Techland GG website as well. And, we know a lot of stuff about the armor. It's just, I want to ask if it's possible to, like, pick up some of the armor from the enemy. And if you can't answer that, like, the armor we have seen so far, it's just the clothing. Like, we haven't seen the armor, the type he's wearing. Like, you can see on his leg, he has the armor plate. So I don't know if it's the armor plate or is it like the only clothing, like the clothes have armor itself. Like we got different clothes with different armor.
The looting style is similar to Dying Light 1, where you just go up and you pat them and you get something. However, I do not know if you are going to be able... You can loot armor from people, but I don't know if it's the armor they're wearing or if it's this generated, type of armor that has a buffer or something like that. Now, from what we have heard from Lawan talking about Craftmasters and the Paraglider, you might be able to upgrade the armor through a Craftmaster. You might be able to get them to put plates or something on it. I don't know. Theory crafting again. But what I do know for a fact is you can loot armor from corpses, and you can use armor in different slots. That's about it. That's all I really know. I don't...
Seems like it seems like they try to stay true to the first game.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is understandable. And if you're looting somebody, like, you go up to a corpse, 90% of the time you take everything on it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't... In Skyrim, rarely do I ever leave anything unless I'm over encumbered. And that's another thing that I would really like to see what this game has is, like, encumbrance. How are they going to mitigate that?
Yeah.
Is it a weight thing or is it a slot thing?
What thing
Did
will
not
be cool?
matter in the last game.
Yeah, last game, like, trust me, the amount of stuff I was carrying. But
you got like 1 million of everything.
Yeah,
I cheated though, so.
If that's a thing here, if that thing changes here, then that will be good. I feel like that will be good, but because it will make people go search places. Otherwise, if you have like millions of stuff with you and without like having to worrying about the weight and everything, then I feel like you will never explore a lot of stuff. So, if you have limited stuff with you, then you're gonna run out of that, and you will definitely go out there looking for it. That sounds like a good thing that Techland would do, but I don't know for sure.
Depends on convenience.
So, yeah. Oh, look at him, come. Get knocked.
I love this.
Yeah, the spear is great.
The spear is so fucking strong.
Yeah.
It looks strong, like...
It chunked the Revenant, like a third of its health.
Damn.
Yeah, we actually saw that. Yeah, exactly. I was going to talk about that only. Like, that is really strong. We saw that against Revenant, but I haven't seen that against any other creature. I'm not sure if that's going to be that strong. But I think I've seen some videos from YouTubers talking about different rarities, and from what I know, gold weapons are back. We have different tiers. Yeah, so
there was a gold bow or something in the shop. I couldn't show you because it was a menu, but it was in the shop, and it was strong as hell, and it was also expensive as hell. It was like 7K units or whatever the currency is.
The currency is, yeah. That's cool to know. It'll be amazing, like, if it has the same thing like Dying Light, where you can like get the golden stuff and like share. I don't know if you can share stuff, but that would be cool if you can share stuff with your friends. The only thing that I'm worried about is the level cap. If there's some, is there a level thing in the game? I'm not sure. They haven't said anything about it, so I don't know if you will be able to talk about it. But I feel like after looking at the level thing on the zombie that a lot of people didn't like, the UI, the health bars and everything, it actually gave us sort of like an impression of having a level system in the game, basically.
From what I noticed, I didn't go looking. Okay, this is just me remembering lightly. Okay, nothing what I say is true or correct in any way.
Yeah.
Following this, but from what I've seen, it's like Breath of the Wild, where if you're going to level up, you're going to get inhibitors, not experience. But to level up your parkour and your combat, you get experience for those. So combat experience is separate from parkour experience, and inhibitors, get 3 of those, and you get to choose to level up health or stamina.
Yeah.
So you don't particularly have a level. You just, from what I noticed, from what I've seen, you don't particularly have a level. You just get stronger, and the number there is more of a this is how they are in relation to you. This isn't like a hard and fast, their number's bigger, you will die. It is their number is bigger than the ones you've seen before. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So as you get, it'll progress with you. So there is
Exactly
that's what
I was talking about.
they're progressing with you. There is no Aiden's level 1, this zombie's level 99. I can't go there.
No.
It's more like I have, a tier 4 strength and a tier 3 agility, and I have, 7 moves in the parkour combat tree. Will this be able to kill this zombie? Yeah, but it's gonna take some doing. It's like fighting the Demolisher in the following. That's like fenced in, in that area. You're just like, this will take some time.
Oh yeah,
and
that mutated one.
the mutated one.
Mm-hmm.
This will take some time. I'm gonna be able to do it, but I just wouldn't want to stand in front of it like an idiot. Use your judgment. Be good gamers. Like, come on.
Yeah, so we actually talked about it, and we were like thinking. So it's just like we don't know anything, so we were like just speculating a lot of stuff. We were like thinking if this will happen, that will happen. So if Aiden, for example, is level 20, you're gonna face your enemy is gonna be level 20 as well. So what if your friend joins who is like level 10? Will he be able to join, or what kind of experience he's gonna have? Because the enemies are gonna be way stronger for him, when it's compared to you. So I feel like if that is a thing, it's sort of messed up.
How did they fix it? In my just as a discussion, how did they fix it in Dying Light? Because the enemies did get stronger as you got stronger, right?
They did, yeah.
So you had friends that came in, and they fought those zombies, right? They were doing all right.
Yeah, but then again,
I do think it's gonna be fun. But if it's something you've lived with for years, I'm sure that it's having it. What I'm saying is, I don't think you should worry too much about it, because I don't think it's going to be that big of a hindrance to your game.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what you said, Jonah, it just sounds like it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
weak or strong.
It is what it is. Yeah, let's move on. It is what it is. Again, the Asus logo right there. The ROG. Oh, okay, this thing. I like the slow motion.
Yeah, this part was awesome.
That's a skill.
Yeah. Oh,
wait, so you can activate it. That's something that you activate.
It is activatable. Yes, that is a skill.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. That's fucking sick.
That is good.
That is in the very, very end of the combat tree. Well, not the very, very end, but it is one of the tiers of the combat tree. You can activate this like Hawkeye slow-mo mid-air arrow shot as you're jumping, which is really sick.
Yeah.
But
I wanted to use it, but it was really far down. And I'm like, oh, that's what it looks like. Okay, cool.
But you just said that's for the arrow, so we have a different one for the melee as well.
Not that I saw.
Okay.
It was just it was a ranged weapons. So you could, I think you could throw and use a bow.
It's cool. It's cool. The slow motion thing will be really awesome to trigger. Oh, the Gore.
Oh yeah.
What
Hulk
is
smash.
Hulk
That's
smash.
a superpower.
That is the ground pound.
Yeah, that is good. But when he does the ground pound, he's like, well, what is that? What is that thing? Is that sparks? What
It
is
looks
he
like
hitting?
particle
Metal?
effects.
It's just like leaves.
Leaves, dirt, particle effects.
Watch him. Like, you see?
Yeah, it's sparks. He's slamming his weapon into the ground.
Damn it, the guy is OP. And how does this guy die? Look at him. It's so funny.
Shrapnel.
He gets
Yeah,
a little
what
cut
the
there.
fuck was
Look at
that?
this. He did a
like,
somersault. He did a full end over end, man. Full scorpion.
And then Aiden is like, are you dead?
I'm
Wait.
ready.
Like,
Now
let me
you are.
help you. He's like, let me help you. Oh, God.
Did that guy fail?
Oh.
Now,
Oh,
see,
shit.
watch this. He didn't do the quest correctly. He missed that second cannon.
Yeah.
And because of that, there are consequences.
Ooh.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we were
We were actually wondering.
Yeah,
But
we
he
were
can't
talking about
finish.
We were
that.
thinking that we couldn't get to that cannon. Like, that's a scripted moment, but...
No, because in my run, I got them all.
Oh.
Okay.
I
Nice.
played through this quest. This is the last quest in the tutorial, or in the preview event
sort of
that we
like
got to play.
introduction stuff. It just feels like an introduction thing. I was actually gonna say that earlier. This feels like the whole introduction thing. Like Frank just saw Aiden for the first time, and
First
you
time
know,
getting the
I think-
paraglider.
Yeah, and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
this is your
Feels
first
like-
quest with a paraglider to like use
Yeah.
it quickly and learn how to use it effectively and learn how to use the air currents and vents and things like that.
It's a good tutorial quest for
it.
it.
It is very possible. I did kind of goof up several times. It is very possible to screw yourself over in this quest.
Well, can we miss all of them?
I'm sure you can, but I don't know the consequences
You
of
haven't-
that.
Yeah, you haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that. I've only finished it all. This is the first time I've actually seen him not get to the second cannon. As you saw, it blew up a part of the fisheye. So.
Yep, it did.
Right.
So if we miss all of that, it will be really cool to see what happens.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
People call you a deadbeat, even though everybody else is doing nothing.
Right? Yeah. Can't believe you fucked up. What are you doing? You're just sitting there farming dirt.
watching me fly, kill them. Like, that's what he's doing. Okay, we're looking at the city. It's so big.
It is
Yeah,
so
it's huge.
nice.
This
Yeah.
place is huge, and there's underpasses. There are
Yeah, exactly.
underground parts. There are parking structures. There's all kinds
Look,
of
there's
shit.
a forest. There's a forest.
There's a forest that's like really close. I mean, those pine trees. I don't know where that is, but those pine trees, they look fully rendered. I don't know about you guys,
Yeah.
but they look fully rendered. They don't look like
Yeah,
PNGs.
they did. We talked about it. Yeah, it looked like we can actually explore that location. Also, there's a building which can be explored, so makes sense that we can actually go there. So let's not let's not speculate more going forward.
Watch it be nothing.
Oh, that'll be.
That's the problem with these breakdowns.
Oh, I thought he's gonna miss this one as well. Watch this. Like, it's gonna be. He's like wasting so much time. He's like thinking.
Yeah, watch
We
it.
would just-
And then he's like, "Oh, I gotta do a
Yeah.
quest objective. Oh, what do I do?" In the middle of the fight,
Yeah, what is he doing? Like,
get his ass kicked.
oh, like this one.
Oh, here we go.
Yo.
It's back, baby, whirlwind.
Oh, I like this one so much. There you go.
Yep. All for
He's
nothing.
wasting his time looking at him. Like, you gotta defuse this.
Yeah, right. You have literally like 5 seconds.
I kind of wish when Aiden's blocking that he would meet the block instead of just staying in one place.
Bouncing it
and kinda
off. Yeah,
absorbing.
yeah.
Maybe they'll
Maybe
do something with that later.
There might be a quick time event or something like that. You know, button
Yeah.
mash or something.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
I wonder, can we blow that thing up? Like, the blimp?
I don't
That would
know.
be awesome.
That would be pretty
That'd
cool.
be awesome.
How do you do it? Do you
I
have a
wanna-
gun?
We got a bow.
You got a bow? You
An
gonna shoot an
arrow.
arrow at it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can throw a Molotov. Yeah, we
Zeppelin
can
falling
throw a
apart.
lot of stuff at that place, you know? So,
Throw a Molotov
we-
straight up and have it come down on your face.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not gonna work, but still, it will be cool. Like, yeah, oh, I just got a video idea. You know, like, you know, when Dying Light 2 comes out, I'm gonna upload a video. Can you blow that blimp? Like, that's a
Can you
good
blow
idea.
up the blimp?
Can you?
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna do a
There's
lot
so
of
many
stuff.
Mythbuster
That's-
ideas you can do.
Just give people a lot of ideas, you know, like, let's see who makes it first. Everyone's gonna make it. Oh, wait. Okay, about the scene, I've actually seen the characters switch so many times. I'm pretty sure the screenshot I saw was the placeholder guy, because I saw somebody else here. You saw it too, right? I shared the
Yeah,
picture
I
with
did
you.
see it.
And it's to save, honestly, it's to save you guys from spoiling
spoilers?
yourselves. And it's
No,
not
but
like
it's
you spoiling
stupid.
yourself, but it's...
But, John, think about it. They showed us him right here in this scene way before I saw that picture. So, the picture came out later. So, we already knew it was Frank here who was being held, you know?
Maybe they were just
And
trying to
then-
throw us off.
I don't know, yeah,
Sad
maybe
part
because
is that's probably what they were trying to do, because the writing in this, the guy that I worked with is a screenwriter in Hollywood.
Oh, nice.
He's written several movies. He wrote the screenplay to Jason X. He wrote a lot of like horror and zombie novels. And he's a really, really great guy. And working with him, I realized how much attention they were putting into the story and how much they really wanted everything to be a surprise. Because they really took a lot of care with the lore and the world, especially for the fans. And they didn't want anything, like each screenshot, each frame they show you has been calculated to make sure that it's not revealing too much. But But yeah, it's for your own good. I know it's kind of silly. I don't know it's stupid, but
No, it makes sense.
It makes sense in the end. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Headshot. Oh.
Yeah, good shot.
Right in the eye. Big dude. Hey, Aiden just saw a wet floor sign. That's too funny.
Uh-oh.
He's on the ground looking at the wet floor sign. But then we see Matt here stabbing the guy.
Coming to the
Yeah,
rescue.
yeah.
So we actually thought a lot of things here. We were like, is this the first time Matt meeting Frank? Like, is he trying to be good guy here, like trying to save him and be like, oh, I'm your friend now from today. I'm gonna murder you later, but for now, I'm your friend. I feel like it's the first
It's like
time.
I was
we
talking
meet him.
about devious playthrough. You want to do good stuff so that you
Yeah.
can screw them over even bigger later.
That's what I'm talking about when I say you need to treat everything like a human would react, with their own intentions and ideas, and use those to manipulate everyone. So you can be a good Boy Scout. There is the it's logical, moral. You want to help these guys. It's understandable. You can be a good Boy Scout. However, if you are a good Boy Scout, that means people are going to try and fuck you over. So,
Yeah.
You're the only one. You're the only one in the
you're
world.
the only one in the world who's a good Boy Scout. So it's so well done. The choices are very well done. It is a morally gray decision almost every time, and you guys just gotta play it. It's very well done. Yeah.
It's like 60
Not
days
just-
left until it launches. So
Yeah, it's not just
soon.
black and
Well,
white
yeah.
anymore, guys. Not just black and white anymore. No good, bad, neutral choices. It's all neutral.
Nice. I like the
So
complexity.
this is basically the end here. So right after this it ends. We've covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we did. We
actually-
talked a
Yeah,
lot
we
about it.
did. Yeah.
We actually talked for I don't know for how long did we talk for?
Almost
A little over an hour.
1 hour,
Yeah.
25 minutes.
Yeah, 1 hour, and we were supposed to talk for like 30-40 minutes. God, but the game has so much stuff, and there's still a lot of things we might have missed it. So if we talk about it, it might just take us a whole day. You know, there was a lot of stuff we didn't see properly. Like we couldn't even talk about it because obviously we didn't have any idea about it. But then again, there's so much stuff in the game, and there's so much cool stuff. There's
A
so
lot
much
to discover.
Easter eggs, a lot to discover. Yeah, obviously, and a lot of new
Well, I
features.
learned- Well, like,
What do you learn?
so games always feel completely different after they come out and you actually know what it's about. And
Yeah.
especially when you're trying to, I don't know, get information. Like before a game comes out, if you're looking at it and you're like, oh, it feels like this, it always feels way different afterwards. So we'll just
Of
have
course,
to see.
of course.
But
Yeah, we just we're watching the thing, so it's gonna be definitely different when we play it. But it's just we getting ideas from what we're looking at, and obviously if people have played it before, so we've seen the gameplays and everything, and obviously heard their experience. So I just got this idea. That's the opinion I built. So
learning fundamentals.
yeah,
About it.
and so far what we saw, it was amazing. It was so far like the best gameplay like I've seen. Like it had
Oh, yeah,
everything.
for
It
sure.
had like
Yeah, people are nitpicking little things like glitches. There are other tinier aspects that are rightfully to have some criticism thrown at them, but at the same time, if your only complaints are the complaints that we have seen so far, and I think this is going to be a fucking amazing game. Like if your complaints so far are just the parkour feels a little floaty, and then literally within 2 weeks they fix it, like I feel like we're in good hands.
Right.
Yeah, right. Because I've seen people actually complain about few stuffs, and they keep repeating that every time. So there's nothing new, other than that. So if Techland fixes that, well, they'll have nothing to complain about. So, and you might have heard a lot of people, trying to say that, oh, this is the next Cyberpunk. Like, what's wrong with them? I don't understand why people are comparing this with Cyberpunk.
Well, just some parts look like it, kind of, But
Well, it's a first-person action RPG. That's why they're comparing. They're the same genre of
Pretty
game.
much, yeah.
But Cyberpunk is a different game with a different developer company, with a developer company that, I'm going to be very honest, has stockholders that forced them to do a lot of what happened.
Exactly. Yep.
And
people don't know the situation.
Techland
A lot of
didn't go
people don't know
public
this.
until like I think January of this year. I don't know. I'm not keeping too,
Yeah, it was
too
this
much
year, it
track
was
of
this
it.
year.
Yeah, but they went public recently, so the stockholders don't really have as much sway as they did with CD Projekt Red, who were just like, we need to make
But
the
are they
money
public now?
now.
Like I heard they were going to be public, but
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
we don't know that,
microtransactions. Ah.
Yeah, right. And the
That's what people
microtransactions.
do.
But on the subject of microtransactions, I do believe that there won't be microtransactions because I feel like they're going to take the hit of not doing microtransactions. This is me being speculative again. I don't know anything
I think there
special
will
or
be,
anything.
from
But
my
I think they're going
understanding.
to take the hit. Well, not what I'm saying is there will be some, but it's not going to be shoved down your throat.
It's not gonna be loot
buy this, buy
boxes.
this. It's not going to be loot boxes. And
Yeah.
I think they're going to
It's not
offset.
going to be pay to win like things. Stuff.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like that.
They're going to offset that with like, okay, well, you will have some maybe cosmetic things for sale, but
Right.
they have been really, really good about using Techland GG as a way
Yes,
to
I was gonna
drive
say
engagement.
that's like the battle pass a little bit.
It
kind of.
reminds me of a
Yeah.
battle pass, but in a honestly
Free battle pass.
a free
Free,
battle.
yeah.
It's a free battle pass. It is a little hard to level up, but I think that as more like this most recent Dying to Know revealed a lot of good stuff about the battle pass, and it made
Right.
it easier, gave you more rewards. I know that some people were a little upset because they logged in every day and now they can get a lot of experience for the little amount of effort they did in
yeah.
Dying Light. But that said, I think moving forward, that's going to be their play. That's going to be what they do. Is they're going to be like, hey, look, this new thing is available on Techland GG. You'll get like one holiday item, but this thing for the rest of the holiday items is on Techland GG. You got to do these quests or whatever in this open world that we have, just like in Dying Light, and then you redeem the docket and you get the thing, you get the item, and it's cool. Whether or not those are going to be, I hope they're not items that have an overabundant gameplay hit. But if you're working for that, that's different than if you're dropping $15 for the best two-handed mace in the game.
Right.
You're right. Cosmetics are fine. I feel like that's the only thing they're gonna actually have, because that's what we actually looking at when we're looking at Techland GG. So, cosmetics I feel like should be fine. Shouldn't really bother anything. Like it shouldn't really be, affect the gameplay of anyone. Like it should make your game more easy.
Yeah.
When compared to Fallout, well, they added loot boxes. They added a lot of the stuff. There was a lunchbox thing they added. That was really stupid.
Yeah, I remember
So,
that.
Yeah, they actually messed up after a while. They were only doing cosmetics and they messed up. So I believe in Techland they're not gonna do something like that. They haven't done that with Dying Light, so why would they do that with Dying Light too? Well, it would be stupid. But
Fallout
Yeah.
76 feels like you're in an abusive relationship a lot of the time. With their atoms, their atom
Yeah.
situation thing. I don't know.
anyways, about
At
the
least
game,
not pay to win.
is there something you want to say, Spider? Let's start with you. We could, whatever you saw, anything. Like, in general.
I can't follow any of this. No,
Yeah,
I'm so well. Like, okay, so I haven't been following it like you and stuff. Like when Jonah was mentioning the Craftmaster, I've only heard about that. Other people. I'm kind of like the audience. We're just kind of waiting for the game. I'm starting to look
Right.
into it just because I'm trying to bring my YouTube channel back to life. But
But so far,
So
what
I'm-
you've seen, like everything you've seen so far, like you think.
I
what are
think
your
it-
like?
I
Yeah,
think
what do
it
you
looks
about that?
good. I'm mostly interested in like what Jonah was talking about, everything being gray and stuff. Like I thought I was gonna be able to be evil, and everybody was gonna be like goody, like expecting you to do like the right thing and stuff. But it's gonna be a lot harder
Nope.
to be devious when
You be
everybody
bad,
else is
they
being
be bad.
devious.
Yeah, it's they know I think Techland knows their audience, and I think because of that, because everyone in the if you spend 2 minutes in the Dying Light 2 Discord, everyone is PK for life. They want to be like
Yeah.
super oppressive and aggressive, and it's understandable. That's fun, but there are so many different ways to play this game.
That's, gonna be
That's
sick.
awesome.
Wait,
What about
one
you?
thing. I
Yeah.
do have a question. I don't know if you can answer this, Jonah, but can you kill any NPC you want, like in
I
Fallout?
was
New
going to
Vegas?
ask him.
Now, okay, I don't think so, because wandering the world, from what I have seen, if you're just parkouring and you come across this small campsite of people, yeah, you can attack them. Yeah, I have accidentally several times. But if you go into a safe zone, you can't really even. I don't think you can draw your weapon. I especially like you go inside the fisheye. I don't think you can draw your weapon, which is understandable because it's one of those
that makes sense.
Place of honor among thieves. But out in the Wild West, out in the world, there have been times where survivors have. There was a time when survivors were helping me fight zombies, and then I accidentally hit the survivor while I was trying to hit the zombie. And like you can hit people out in the world, but if you're in a safe zone, obviously, like if you're on the Missy, you don't want to hit a PK because then you're just gonna die. Like you're gonna have to chicken shit. You're gonna chicken shit save and be like, let's quick save and hit this PK and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like
that honestly sounds fun though. Not gonna lie.
What about essential NPCs? Can you screw
like
them over
main
at any
characters.
time?
now that I don't know. I don't know about because I didn't try and hit any essential like any quest NPCs.
He's gonna hit Lawan, I'm telling you.
I mean, people are gonna try and whack everybody.
In one way.
But hey,
Gotta know what your limitations are.
but yeah, I
Know your
couldn't.
limitations.
I couldn't. I didn't try and kill anybody who was like a quest NPC or anything like that. But I did kill people out in the world. Especially like if you get close to some people's honey, they got pissed. They get mad at you.
What?
They're like, get away from my honey.
Oh man.
That's so good, really.
Yeah, they were like, what are you doing? Why are you doing in my like in Red Dead? You walk up to a dude's campsite in Red Dead, and then he's like, get the fuck out of my campsite.
That's pretty awesome. I love that immersion.
Yep, it is, yeah. Yeah, so, Ty, you gotta say something?
No, I don't really have any questions or anything like that. I'm just hella excited for February 4th, so. Yeah, I think it looks great overall. I think this gameplay is definitely my favorite so far. Like, I think there's some things that can be tweaked, but I mean, it's all really gotten better over time, so. They got 2 months. They just went gold recently, so. Honestly, they're just setting up something great, so I'm excited.
That's great to hear.
Well, I've said everything I had to say. So we've done everything. Jonah, a huge thanks to you, dude, for coming because, shit, you know, you have a busy schedule, making time for us. It's really
for real. Thank you for coming on.
Managed to do that.
It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, you as well, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is great.
We're gonna do a lot of stuff in the future as well, and obviously everyone's gonna love you when the game comes out. Like, they love you now, but you know they're gonna love the whole performance. Like everything I've seen so far, they've seen so far, it's crazy. But when the whole game comes out, it's gonna be hilarious. Like
Yeah,
your voice
hope
acting.
so. I hope so.
I sometimes feel like for me, it's like I've talked to you before as well. We've done collabs and everything in the past.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, oh, I know this guy. It's like I'm talking. It's like I'm listening to someone who I know. It was a little bit different for me.
That's
like
crazy.
It was a little bit. Yeah, it felt weird. Like in a good way.
I was super excited to hear my voice in the game. This is the first time it's ever happened for a game like this. I've done other smaller video games, but this is the biggest, coolest thing I've ever done, and I'm a huge fan of the original game. So. I just want people to realize that I'm also going to be playing at the same time as you guys when it comes out. I'm waiting. I'm speculating. I'm doing this. I'm making YouTube videos. I'm invested. I want this to be the best damn. I was making when I was doing the lines and then when I was recording, I had one thing going through my head, and that's you can't fuck up. And I want this to be a game that I want to play.
Right.
And I have very high standards. So. Hopefully you guys enjoy what I put out. I put a lot of my heart, a lot of my soul into this, a lot of other people's souls into this. There have been many a ritual, trust me. But hopefully you guys like what we did and you guys like Aiden. That's my big thing. I just want you guys to enjoy the character more so than like previous like I hope you guys like him more than Crane. Crane's a hard guy to top, honestly.
Yeah, he's a bit of a I don't know. Blank slate in my opinion though.
Yeah, but that's what he was supposed to do.
Right.
That was his job, and Roger nailed it.
True that.